What if I told you that Manchester City with Erling Haaland's goal-scoring form stand no chance of beating Arsenal to the title this season? Not because Arsenal will be rested while Manchester City is playing for the Champions League. No, Arsenal will be playing in the Europa League. But one of the reasons why Man City won't win is because they have become predictable this season. Their attack has become like a funnel, where you know their true intention is to get the ball to the furthest man down the pitch, which is Erling Haaland. And yes, the man is scoring a lot of goals, but here's a fun fact. Did you know that in the last 10 seasons of the EPL that the player who has won the Golden Boot Award hasn't been from the title winning team, except for one season, which was the 2012-2013 season when Man United won the league title with 89 points and Robin van Persie finished at the top of the scoring charts with 26 goals, and that was 10 years ago. In recent years, players like Sergio Aguero, Harry Kane and Mo Salah, when they have won the Golden Boot, their teams didn't finish at number 1 in those seasons. In this video, I discuss how Arteta has managed to transform Arsenal to title challengers in his third full season by implementing the blueprint that helped Manchester City break the 100-point threshold, because during that record-breaking season, Arteta was only just an apprentice under his idol, the same idol that came through the Barcelona Youth Academy just as he did, but today his idol has become his rival. By the time of this video's recording, Erling Haaland has scored 21 goals from 16 games now in the Premier League, and on the other hand, Arsenal don't even have a single player in the top 5 goal scoring charts in the league. But what they do have is 5 points away from the defending champions, who have been frustrated by a loss to Brentford, Fulham, Liverpool, while also drawing against Aston Villa and Everton. Just as a disclaimer, I must admit it's still early to predict a losing season for Manchester City, but what I know is that the past can help predict the future, due to the fact that we know Guardiola has a bad history with traditional nines in his team, as we have seen from Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Sergio Aguero, not because they are bad at what they do, which is scoring goals, but Pep prefers pass-first players, which is midfielders instead of goal poachers, which is a topic I also break down in a video I did on Pep Guardiola's philosophy of the tiki-taka. You should check that out. The reason why Guardiola has an issue with traditional lines is most of the time such players struggle to create opportunities for themselves, which in turn forces the team to build around their strength and compensate for their weaknesses. And that can be a risky way to play, because at the highest level of football, when great coaches plan for a game before they even study videotapes of the opponents, they begin first with the eye catchers, which is the goal scored and goal assists, and from there they can figure out a team's style and identity in order to stop them. Hence, it's easy to figure out what the team is trying to achieve when they have the target man that can't create for themselves. But if you have a target man that plays for the team first, one that can drop deep and play off the back like Harry Kane does at Tottenham when he's combining with Son, then you can adjust your game depending on what the opposing team defense gives to you. But that part of the game I have yet to see Haaland, where he can play with his back facing the goalie, or him playing on the wing and coming from the deep. Maybe it might be early in his career, but I hope he can adjust his game. But so far, the numbers tell a story of him being the main benefactor of the attack, which can be predictable. And predictability is something that caused Aguero to clash with Guardiola at Man City, due to the fact that Aguero wanted to take all the goal scoring shots instead of passing to a man who was way more open than him. Hence, Aguero never won a Golden Boot once Pep took over at City, and by default that helped City be champions. So has Manchester City made a mistake by acquiring Haaland? Not really. But what I can say out of this season from City is that they have made their game predictable, and Mikel Arteta has got rid of both Aubameyang and Lacazette in favor of Gabriel Jesus, who is a player that has played as a midfielder a few times at Manchester City. Now, that was an indication of a plan that he was trying to implement by getting rid of those two players in place of Gabriel, a plan that he helped carry out as a Manchester City assistant coach during the 100-point season. As you can see, Arsenal does not rely on a single player in order to win. They carry the responsibility of scoring as a team effort, which is why their top goal scorer is a midfielder. And also to add, they don't have a player with numbers that seem far from the rest. The team's effort blends together, which is why their players share similar stats, whether it's goals or assists. The players at Arsenal play like the Manchester City team from the season 2017 to 2018, and that makes it hard to figure out who is in form, since the team plays to win the game instead of playing for a certain player to score goals, which is something that makes the team deadly. Hence, you can't plan for such an attack. Bad enough, Pep sold Arteta 2 Man City players in Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko, but it looks like Arteta also took the blueprint of his former coach, and Arsenal are showing signs of championship football. Please let me know if you think Arsenal can win the title this season.